Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of our ONDC Build for Bharat hackathon. So today we'll be setting up our basic Node.js framework using the Express.js. Let's get started by setting up the server. So for setting up the server, what we need to do is go in backend over here, initialize a file and name it server.js. Next, what we need to do is import Express over here and add a listening command to it. So let's do that. For importing Express, we'll type const express equals to require express. Yeah, that's what we're gonna need to do. Next we need to add a listener. Like, let's just go with basics first. We'll create a Express app. Const app equals to express, and this is a function. This will create our app, and then we'll do app dot listen. Now we need to mention the port over here, so let's go with port 4001. And yeah, if this listens, then we create a function over here that says server listening console.log server listening on port 4001. And it's before this is recording that, yeah, it is. So before we run our server, what we need to do is initialize our package of Node.js over here. So for doing that, we need to go to CD backend. Once we have entered the CD backend, we type npm dash init, sorry, npm init dash y. So it automatically configures the package file for us. Now if you look over here, our package is over here. And right now we are set. So we'll, yeah, let's try running this. The command we use is npm run the npm start. So how do we know it's this is gonna give us error, cannot find module express. For that we need to locally install our express file over here. Install express. Alright, we have our express file and that should start the server. Alright, so our server is listening. So next what we need to do is whenever uh, any type of request comes to our server, we want to log that request. So for logging that request, we'll add a middleware where we turn whatever comes in into JSON. Also, we for logging of things we use app.use pass request and result to it, and a function that logs console dot next sorry console dot log the request path and the request method. Alright, also what we need to do is, this is a middleware, right? So we need to insert arrest and next. So it goes on to the next thing. Then now the next thing over here is gonna be our routes, which we are gonna declare later on. But basically, what our routes are gonna look like is we need to create a router object. And let's get later on into this. It will go on to our routes. So let's save this. Now you might notice when we save this, we have to turn off the server and run it again. So to make server restart itself on itself by itself, sorry, we need to install a package name npm install nodemon. What nodemon does is it will automatically restart the server. So now if I do nodemon server.js, it will start the server. Now, whenever I make any changes to this and save the file, it will automatically restart the server. So I don't need to do it again and again. Also, what you can do is go here, go in scripts, uh, mention dev over here. And what dev does is basically this command nodemon server.js. Now, what we can do is do npm run dev, and it will run this script dev automatically. So instead of typing nodemon server.js, we can just run dev and it will automatically run this command. Alright, so that's our package setup. Now we need to add a routes folder in backend. Over here we need to add routes folder. In this routes folder, we are gonna declare our negotiation endpoints.js. Now we are using the Express framework. So cons Express require Express. Next, we also need to create a model for our negotiation. We haven't come up with exact model yet. So let's just go negotiation. This N is gonna need to be capital. Negotiation equals to require mm, product model slash negotiation model. Now this will automatically configure it to .js, so we don't need to type it. In backend over here, we need to add a folder that is model, and in model we need to add a file which is gonna be negotiation model dot js. Now once we have created this file, let's declare a very simple model over here. So to declare the model, we are gonna need another library, mongoose equals to require mongoose. So let's start up a new terminal in which we install the mongoose as well. Alright, I guess we made a mistake. We need to actually do this in CD backend. So let's run it again. Yeah, now it's working. Alright. So once we have added a mongoose, we need to create a schema which exists in our mongoose package. Yep, there we go. Next, using this schema, we create our negotiation schema. Negotiation schema plus a new schema, and this is JSON type. Over here, as I mentioned before. Hmm. So we haven't come up with exact schema yet. So I'll just go seller. Seller is gonna be int, type number, and it's required is gonna be true. Also, we are gonna have buyer, buyers. Okay, I did a mistake. Buyers type is gonna be number as well, and it's required is gonna be true. All right, that's it for our schema. Now we need to export this so that we can import it in our file over there. So how do you export? Is module dot exports equals to mongoose dot model. We name this model negotiation, and what schema it implements is negotiation schema. Right, so this is a basic schema prepared. I know we need to add bunch of things in it. We'll do it later on. As I said, we are just defining a basic structure of our framework over here. So again, going ahead with our endpoints, we have we imported our negotiation model. Next up, we are going to create a router. Const router equals to express dot router, and this is a function method. Next, we are gonna declare a bunch of endpoints over here. I guess so far we have come up with 4 endpoints. One is fetch negotiation. Alright, so my bad. Fetch negotiation is gonna be below create negotiation. And update negotiation. and delete negotiation. Right. So in this endpoints, what we can do just for a dummy run, we can go router dot to create a negotiation. We are going to use post method, post in which the default path is slash, and the function it's going to use plain old function, that is console dot log. Just for now we are, if it dummy runs or not, to check that we are simply going console dot log create a negotiation. All right, now once we have created this, we add rest of them later on. What we need to do is again module dot exports equals to router. All right, once we have done this, over here in our routes of our server, we'll do app dot use. We mention the path of our code. So path is API slash negotiation, right? And thing it's gonna use is negotiation routes, which we haven't imported yet. So let's import that as well. It's gonna be const negotiation routes. I just can't see the spell now. So require, we go a dot p in our routes folder to our negotiation endpoints. So this creates the negotiation routes which we use over here. Negotiation routes object over here. Now we need to connect to database as well. Also, we need in backend folder, we need to create a dot environment. In this dot environment, we need to mention port equals to 4001. So when I'm uploading on GitHub, this doesn't get shared. So over here, instead of using 4001, what we are gonna use is we are gonna import dot n. We're gonna do require dot n dot config. This is gonna configure our file, and using process dot n, instead of typing this hard coding this 401, we are gonna type process dot n dot port. Port is what we wrote over here, right? Port, yeah. So again, sir, try, let's see if it worked. So yeah, server running on port 4001. Let's delete this on port and comma this thing. Save this, see if it's working, and yeah, it's working. So what else we need to import over here is mongoose. require. Actually, now that I think about it, we are declaring our endpoints over here. So we don't need to import mongoose over here. But no, we use the mongoose to connect to our database. Anyways, let's try running this. The way we are gonna run it is using Postman. We are gonna create a new collection. The new collection's name is gonna be ONDC API. Okay, I can't add dashes. ONDC API testing. Over here, we are gonna create a new file. The URL is gonna be localhost, local, localhost dash 4001 because we are hosting on 4001 slash API slash negotiation. This is gonna be a post method, and for now we aren't doing anything in our post method, so this should work. We simply do console and should log over here, create a negotiation. So let's send this. We might not get any response in return. This is taking a bit of time. Okay. It logged over here that we got a post method, but this never ran. All right, we'll figure this out in our next video. That's it for part two of our negotiation engine. We'll prepare the rest of the basic skeleton in part three. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.